Welcome to the 2021 Economic Depression and Preparation Channel. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday edition, October 24th, 2021. Please be sure to subscribe to Preach to Me for the latest 100% true financial news that's going on. We do not give financial advice. However, we do provide an accurate picture of what's going on in the United States and sometimes beyond. I know it's been a while, guys. I'm happy to be back. A lot has been transpiring, but mostly today I want to talk about the hyperinflation that's going to be taking place at the end of this year and in the first quarter of 2022. And I also want to remark on some of the jobless numbers that have been coming out and how that's going to affect. Economists and leaders have been meeting about the hyperinflation crisis and what they're going to be doing. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has met with the committee, Open Market Committee, and she says that it's not going to be an issue. But other people in the private sector think that this hyperinflation is not going to be transitory, as the Federal Reserve expects, and it's going to last much longer than anticipated, possibly into 2023, 2024 time frame. And this is what we've been telling you guys all along. And you guys have known, you've seen this. Gas prices have been astronomical. Even in parts of the South, gas prices are above $3.35 a gallon for regular gas. And of course, out west, gas has been as high as $4 a gallon, sometimes even $5 a gallon. And that isolated station that we're seeing on TV in Northern California Valley was $8 a gallon. So that's going to continue to increase. Energy prices, heating costs are going to go up in the wintertime as we get closer and closer to the winter. Winter is coming, as they say in the Game of Thrones world. But this was interesting today. CNBC, Twitter, and Square CEO Jack Dorsey says, quote, hyperinflation will happen soon in the U.S. And he says not just the U.S., but the world. And I would partially agree with him because in order for the world to service its debt, with the United States being the leading debtor nation right now, to service its payments on the debt, it would have to hyperinflate the currency to be able to service the debt. In other words, if they don't do that, then they'll have to let it collapse and go to a digital monetary currency. Well, both can happen at the same. Can both happen at the same time? Yes, it can. You can have a collapsing currency and a digital currency replace it. And you can just look at Venezuela, or you can look at Lebanon or Greece. Any of these countries that experience sort of a meltdown, you can see that this is going to happen. Now, people are saying that Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey's pumping up his crypto portfolio, but hyperinflation has been here. It's not quite hyperinflation yet right now, but supply chains have been broken. And they continue to make an impact. As you can see here, broken supply chains, courtesy of MarketWatch.com, are a market failure. What is the right way to restore resilience? Well, broken supply chains are here to stay. This is going to be one of the lasting impacts of this pandemic for this decade, from 2021 to 2030. This is going to be one of the lasting impacts for the Western Hemisphere, UK, US, Southern Hemisphere. The emerging economies, Brazil, Argentina, and those other emerging economies as well, India, etc., Taiwan, Singapore. So when the supply concerns abate, firms and policymakers must consider what kind of insurance or slack they've been built into the production system. It's taking longer to get parts here and services. If you have a car, a vehicle, a used car, or a vehicle that's paid off, I encourage you to keep it. I encourage you to get those parts that you need, whether it's oil filters, oil batteries, just little things, serpentine belts, any maintenance parts, even spare tires or used tires, get them while you can, because after next year, the prices on these parts are going to be either going up tremendously, or you say you order something, you need to go to get it repaired. Because remember, a lot of these repair shops have to order on Amazon too for parts and stuff. They're telling me that it's taking 2 to 3 weeks to get certain parts like AC compressors or starters or alternators, and so the more diversification you can have in supplies like that, the better off you're going to be, my friends. Now, another thing too is that we're in the month of October. We're going to be ending October soon. Well, this is courtesy of The Guardian, a UK paper. Sometimes they're pretty good reports. But they said, will October again be memorable for the wrong reasons? October 1929 is when the Great Depression started happening. And bad things happen this month, as you know, but we're the Ides of October, not the Ides of March, according to the economy. So the IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, is preparing for its annual meeting. Signs of a crisis loom. You see, it's not just the United States that's caught up in this. This is a worldwide economic crisis, but the United States is leading the way because obviously we have over $29 trillion of debt and growing, according to the U.S. debt clock.org.gov, which anybody can search and look at. So this 1987, October 1987, we had the savings and loan crisis, right? And now in October 1929, we had the Wall Street crash that triggered the Great Depression. What is going to trigger this Great Depression 2.0? That is the question, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think? Will it be an energy crisis? Will it be a technology crisis, an automation crisis that starves us of jobs, regular people of jobs, middle class of jobs? And will it be a resources crisis of water, oil, gas, food? Daily supplies. What will cause this bubble to pop? And that's what most people are wondering about. Most economists, most regular people, most business people, investors, everybody is wondering because what goes up eventually must come down, as you know, and it's what you see not above the surface, is what's below the surface is that's gonna get a lot of us. Whether we're prepared or not, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. Okay, when we start seeing the breaking down of social issues here, crime is going up in a lot of these cities. And that's why a lot of people are looking forward to moving toward more of a rural and hinterland areas in their local townships and jurisdictions. And I encourage that too as well, because and you and I know that crime is going to go up in the cities and suburbs as the economy continues to deteriorate. And President Joe Biden says he doesn't know when his honeymoon is over. He doesn't know when the U.S. economy is going to stall out, but he's just trying to tread water until after the midterms or before the midterms. So it's political and social. But the bottom line is clear: is that the writing is on the wall that the U.S. economy is going to be slowing down to a halt. China's economy has been slowing down with shortages and blackouts, but you have to understand that China has over 1 billion people, or even 2 billion people, according to some estimates. So they're going to be okay because they have more production capability than the United States right now. So even if they go to hard times, their people are used to hard times. They're used to having 10 people, or 10 people, or 9 or 8 people in a household, share a household and share resources. Americans are not used to that. We're very individualistic. You make it, I make it. We've gotten away from that, and so that's going to be something that's very concerning. And then also the effects of these vaccines, ladies and gentlemen. The vaccines have done an amazing job, but we still have a long way to go. This COVID thing is here to stay for years, and it's just going to be a big issue, worse than the flu thing, because it's going to shut down a lot of businesses. It already has shut down over 50% of the businesses in your local town and state. I guarantee that they're not coming back, and either they're not coming back or they're getting bought out by the big guys, the monopolies, Amazon's, Walmart. Targets, Google, Apple, Facebook's, those type of things. So this is what we're looking at. And hyperinflation is here to stay. But one thing I wanted to mention to you too about this whole thing about the hyperinflation thing is that it's possible that we can see both in by the year 2024, 2025, right in the middle of this decade. We could see hyperinflation in the goods that we need, okay? But we can see massive deflation in, say, housing, but and other needs. But by that time, excuse me, our money will be so diluted or worthless if we even exchanging money anymore, because it may just be all digital by then. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's gonna be Bitcoin, but it may be something like that that's controlled by the government. By that time, it wouldn't matter because most of the money will already be in the hands, redistributed in the hands of the top upper 1% of earners in the world, as they've already planned. So, but the thing that we can do to help mitigate or damage of this whole economy is to continue to save our resources, continue to take classes, sustainability, environmental sustainability, food, water, medicine, and everything, because health is wealth. We know that you may have all the preps in the world, but if you have an infection or something goes down, we're not going to be able to last very long in a world that the supplies are tight and hospitals may be shutting down. Maybe instead of one hospital every 10 miles, or maybe one hospital every 50 miles, instead of one police department every 2 miles or 3 miles like we got now, it may just consolidate the police departments into one federal force or one county force. All that to save money, in the name of save money, but also in the name of this hyperinflation, because taxes are going to be going up next. And this is what President Biden has not only President Biden, but this is what Congress, has not told us, both Republicans and Democrats. Taxes will be going up. Property taxes will be going up. A lot of you have commented below a couple weeks ago that you've experienced property taxes going up. And I'm interested to see this coming next year, looking at my property taxes and property taxes too. Is it going to go up tremendously? Because everything else has gone up tremendously. Energy, food, utilities prices. And so be careful of that. Watch out for that, ladies and gentlemen. And put ration decide, do your own rationing and your own planning, because we're in this for the long haul. Anyway, I just want to give you this brief note to start out the week. Be blessed. God bless everyone. And I'm thankful for listening. And if you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them down below. And I'll talk to you very soon. Have a great night. Bye bye.